Welcome, everyone. We have a busy session today. Go ahead and jump to the next screen. I want to introduce our wonderful speakers. Judy Bossi, our VP of Marketing at Sembi, our VP of Product Management, sorry, at Sembi. I just gave you a new title, Judy. She oversees all product marketing or product management functions across all Sembi brands, specifically focusing on testing tools today. And Helder Ferreira, Director of Product Management, also focused specifically on the testing tools. Thank you guys for joining. They will be taking it from here.
Thank you, Christian, our VP of Marketing, for the introduction. So welcome. Today's session is all about giving you all a first look into the powerful new capabilities that we built for AI, and more importantly, the real world problems that they're solving. So I will walk us through the vision. Elder will show you the product in action, and we'll share what's coming next and how to get started. So let's dive right in. Before we talk about AI product functionality, a quick intro into our company. So at Sembi, we help customers build software with confidence. Our comprehensive set of software testing and application security solutions include trusted brands like TestRail, Xray, and Ranorex, as well as some newer brands that you might not have heard of, like DesignWise and TestMail. As an organization, our mission is simple. We help customers ship at a faster pace and with higher quality. And so our customers choose us time and time again because we help solve their toughest quality challenges. We have over 10 million users across 25,000 companies using our solutions, and that's across all industries and company sizes. So we'll dig into the industry context first before we showcase our AI launch. And if there's one thing that we all have in common sitting here in front of our screens, it's that we are all technologists. We're involved in the process of building or maintaining software, and we've likely all experienced that software is becoming increasingly complex over the years. And as a famous venture capitalist once said, software is eating the world, but complexity is chewing up software teams. So to sustain this dominance for software, our teams need real effective strategies to mitigate this growing complexity. And this is where AI presents both a challenge and an opportunity in software development. So with AI-assisted development, there's more code being generated at a faster pace. And with this faster pace, teams are struggling to balance both speed and quality. We also have an onslaught of global regulations where compliance gaps threaten hefty fines and reputational damage if we don't keep in mind things like security, privacy, accessibility. And on top of that, threat actors are using AI for greater volume and sophistication of attacks. So these challenges are the backdrop for the Sembi AI vision. All of these factors culminate in a greater demand for AI-assisted quality. And over the past few years, we've been speaking with all of our customers who share this same vision to embed AI into their practices. And we've been hard at work building thoughtful AI-powered features. We're not just building AI features for the sake of AI. And so everything we're about to show you today was shaped by direct input from our users who, like us, face all of these industry challenges. So I'm proud to announce today our Sembi IQ. IQ stands for Intelligent Quality, and we chose this name because we firmly believe in the power for AI to transform software testing and security, what we encompass under an umbrella category of quality. And this launch marks a significant step in our long-term roadmap to scale AI features across our platform. Sembi IQ is the AI engine that powers this agentic AI functionality across our trusted software brands. And externally, we've partnered closely with early adopters to validate use cases. Our AI features are helping teams do more with less, helping teams plan for fewer optimized tests without sacrificing quality. And what this means internally is that we've built a team of engineers whose main job is to drive innovation and enable all of our product teams to integrate and launch AI features quickly. So again, Sembi IQ is not just a single feature or a single product, but a central nervous system. and a platform that's built to integrate AI features across all of our products. So, whether you are a customer focused on test management, test optimization, test automation, or security testing, Sembi IQ is supercharging our customer experience, so you have a lot to look forward to. And a few additional notes to drive this message home. Sembi IQ is embedded across all of our products, starting with test optimization and DesignWise, which Helder will walk you through today, and with test case generation and TestRail and Xray to quickly follow. Sembi IQ, again, is shaped by customer feedback. We've been going through customer interviews, design reviews, and beta programs. And under the hood, we've architected key components to enable this central platform that's enterprise ready and built to scale. That's whether you're a team of 10 or 10,000. So we've built all of this with security and privacy in mind for easy adoption. And last but not least, we will use Sembi IQ as the opportunity to unify all of our product experiences across our tools. We're not just solving today's problems, we are anticipating where the market is headed. And there's a lot of developments taking place in the market on AI. So here we show both current and future innovations, such as integrating LLMs, agentic AI, model context protocols, machine learning, and multimodal AI. So Sembi IQ is not just powering today's features, but it's part of this long-term scalable AI ecosystem that's going to be across our platform. So make sure to stay tuned and be on the lookout for future product announcements. And before I pass this on to Elder for a product and roadmap deep dive, I want to mention that Sembi IQ's roadmap is filled with wide-ranging AI features that span across different types of AI. So whether that's generative AI to help you generate optimized test plans and test cases based on requirements, or predictive AI to anticipate release risk and recommend mitigation options, or descriptive AI to spot quality trends and explain complex data using natural language. All of the product capabilities that Helder will walk you through next are just the tip of the iceberg. And after the sneak preview, I'll also give you a preview into our platform vision to tie all of this together at the end. Now that you've seen the bigger picture, it's time to hand things over to the mastermind behind the magic, the person who's truly been at the heart of this launch. He's led the vision, he's worked side by side with customers, and he's brought Sembi IQ to life from day one. So welcome our Director of Product, Elder Ferreira.
Thank you, Judy. With those words, now you put me on the spot. Hey, everyone. And I want to showcase not only the idea that we have, but actually the products and the features that are live already or are soon to be live. And this is a moment where I also want to share with you so that you can be the first ones to be on the beta program and test these features before everyone else. What we can see here is that on DesignWise, we already launched the AI-powered test optimization tool. This is available. You guys can try, download the trial and test this feature, optimizing the test process by using AI. For TestRail and Xray, we will have very soon betas being available. Please be on the lookout for being the first to test and see these features as the beta starts. Let's move now to DesignWise and what AI-powered test optimization is. So if you know, DesignWise, it's used primarily for functional integration and user acceptance testing types. DesignWise combines AI-enhanced parameterization, an intelligent algorithm, and Gherkin data-driven script generation to eliminate redundancy, reduce test maintenance, and improve software quality at scale. The general process is to identify the elements that affect the business outcomes you are testing. Create the model inside DesignWise, generate all the appropriate scenarios, analyze the interaction coverage, and write data-driven scripts to guide the execution. The process is iterative. It works well across industries and use cases, with the primary focus on functional integration, user acceptance testing. So with this, what we want to do is actually showcase the new AI-powered feature test case optimization within DesignWise. DesignWise is based on models. So as soon as you arrive or you jump into DesignWise, you will be able to see a few sample models that you can try out and see how the system works. But today we are going to do a demo focused on the new AI features. So starting with a new test model, let's do a very simple example of an e-commerce checkout process. So, and again, I can start already by importing some files, some mind maps that I might have, but today we are showing AI features, so we will start a blank model. So right from the beginning, we have three main steps: the parameters definition, the rules and scenarios, and the scripts. Up until now, the only way that we had to add parameters is by hand. So you needed to add the parameters here one by one if you didn't import from a previous file. But now with the AI, we are able to now generate the parameters using Sembi IQ. So, and let's do that. If I click here to generate the parameters, of course, the initial thing, the first thing that the system will ask us, okay, is can you give me some guidelines on how the AI will be processing this information? So I will say, yes, I want to provide guidance. And you then here on the screen, you define what is the testing goal, and you can upload documentation, artifacts, files that you have on your system already so that the AI can take that into consideration when generating the parameters. So let's just create here a very quick prompt saying, okay, I want to generate a test plan for the e-commerce checkout flow and consider that the sales can only be done within the US. But again, this is a very light testing goal. The AI does not have enough information to properly give the right output for the customer. So if we have, for example, requirements, some markup files with some requirements, we can add them already on this screen so that the AI will take those into consideration. And of course, we can just upload a file that you might have, a PDF, JSON files, image files. You can upload them here, but you can also create them here. So not needing to create a file, and you can just copy paste from the sources that you might already have. So let's create here the requirement. As a shopper, I want to buy items in my cart using my preferred payment and shipping method so that I can complete the purchase quickly and securely. One thing to notice here is that we are already mentioning the supported payments and also the locations and taxes. So let's just create this file, and the system will already create a file and upload the file. But at the same time, I do have here on my system some promo codes that I also want to add here to the system. So I can upload them directly here. I just need to select the file that I have, and the file that I have here right now, it's a CSV file with promo codes. And again, the system is already adding it to the AI so that it can also digest this information. That's it, done. I think we have the guidance. Let's just make sure we press confirm. And now that the guidance is ready, let's generate the parameters. At this moment, the system, our Sembi IQ AI, it's going through my prompt, my request, but also all those files and generating what it thinks it's a good initial parameter set to start the model creation. At this moment, we can also, and we need to understand one thing, is that we can now accept or decline all the parameters that it's suggesting. We are always making sure that the tester is in the driver's seat, so it's controlling everything that the AI is doing, okay? So, and you can already see that the payment methods, the security requirements, the shipping methods are already here. And for example, the country already mentioned that it's only in the US. At this moment, I can accept or I can reject all, or I can go for each one and say if I want to accept or not. Let me just try to reject all and give a change to the initial prompt. So I want this to be sold in the US and in the UK. So adjusting the prompt will also make sure that the system can reflect all the changes that we want to do with this testing goal. Of course, that we can do at prompt level. I could be adding more files, but I also can be adding or adjusting the parameters that the AI generated. So as we can see, we already have the US and the UK. At this moment, I'm just going to accept all. Quick and easy, I can see that the AI already generated all the parameters it found useful at a first approach to make sure that we have a very good coverage of our tests. And you can see that the discount codes or promo codes are here, that the AI already added US and UK. But again, if you want to generate more parameters, you might think, well, this is not enough. I want to have a more robust and proper scope of the feature or coverage of this testing plan. You can still generate more parameters. You can then here change the direction you want to do. So you can go and you can pre-fill or adjust the guidance, or you can just say, I want to add more shipping options, for example. And if I do this to my checkout process. And if I do this, what the system will do is it's not redoing everything. It's not generating the model all over again. It's just adding more shipping options. And again, it's adding same-day delivery, scheduled delivery, or international delivery. Of course, it also added the package type and delivery time. So the AI is proposing more parameters that will even increase the test coverage. I'm just going to decline these two and accept the one that have more additional shipping methods. As you could see here on this quick demonstration, AI managed to create in a couple of minutes the set of parameters that I already have on my requirements and some extra documentation with a simple prompt to the system. And of course, DesignWise then can go into the second layer, which is or the second step, which is generating the scenario. As you can see here, the system is already generating all the iterations that it can have and already adjusting for the ones that it thinks that are actually needed. So saving you time and money by not having to go and do all the tests, because the test coverage will increase, of course, but actually it won't increase that much that it's needed to make sure that you do all these steps. Then you can also do, for example, an analysis, and you can understand exactly what tests were included and which ones were not, and the reason why they were not added to the plan. From here, you can also view the coverage graph. And we know that, for example, right now he's suggesting to run these test cases, and with already 83% of test coverage for the 7 initial test cases. And you can see then here the evolution on how more tests you do, the bigger will be the coverage. What you can also do at this moment, for example, you can just generate the mind map all the parameters that you created are now here, and you can export and reuse, make adjustments, re-import, and adjust your model. The main goal here is that you never need to start from scratch again. You have the basic model, you can adjust, and the system will reflect this on the fly. And that's it. This is a very quick demo on how we can use the new features for AI to expedite this initial process of having all the parameters up and running. So as you guys could see, very easily the system managed to generate all the parameters at once, and then you can adjust, you can expand your parameters, you can contract the parameters by using the power of Sembi IQ. At the end, DesignWise by Sembi is an AI-enhanced test case optimization platform that empowers teams to test faster and smarter than ever before. With intelligent test case modeling, automated scenario generation, and seamless Gherkin script creation, DesignWise helps QA teams eliminate redundancy, boost coverage, and build confidence into every release. So now looking at and giving you guys a sneak peek of what's inbound on Xray and TestRail, we will have the AI test case generation. So this is based on AI, generative AI, and it will turn your requirements into insights. So in a nutshell, you will be able to add all your product requirements, add all your findings, all your use cases, and the AI will do in step one, the generation of a suggestion that it thinks it will be a match to your goals, but at the same time, it will allow you to select and pre-select the direction you want the AI to go. So you can, for example, select, please be more focused on security suggestions, or about injection security path. So you will be able to steer the AI to your outcomes. And the same will happen into the final step. So once you define the requirements, you select the suggestions, then you will be able to check the steps that the AI generated, make changes, edit the steps, and then only then generate the final output. As the main goal here for us is making sure that you can control what the AI is doing. We want the AI to empower the QE teams to make sure that they are faster, they cover more scope, and be more productive at the end of the day. So with the AI test case generation, at the end, we will be able to do faster test generation, highly scalable and adaptable, and increase areas of scope of your testing plans to areas you were not going in before with the help of Sembi IQ. So now for the closing topics, I will pass the word back to Judy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Elder, for that awesome demo. Now, to drive this all home, if you've been waiting for the right moment to try DesignWise, this is the perfect time to do so. So try out our new AI-powered test optimization now by signing up for a DesignWise trial. You can also get started by joining our beta programs for TestRail and Xray to try out that new test case generation feature that Elder just mentioned. And then last but not least, you can explore what's next by engaging with our teams, whether you're connected with our customer success, customer support, or sales rep. All right, we are nearing the end, but I want to close with a preview into our platform vision. The AI features that you saw today are really just the tip of the iceberg, as I mentioned, and what we have planned next is even more exciting. As we look into the future, we have plans to bring intelligent quality across all of our products. So we're building, in addition to all of these AI agents, we're also building deeper integrations across these different products so that we bring more value to customers into a single AI-driven platform. What this means is that Sembi IQ's agents AI agents will power a continuous quality loop. Our customers are under pressure to speed up time to market and test earlier in their CI/CD process. So we are uniquely positioned to address this with intelligent quality because our platform fuses both software testing and application security products. So this means that customers using our solutions will be able to ship faster with AI-powered tooling all in one place. So this slide gives you a glimpse into the near future with our AI agents, starting from the top right, and I'll go clockwise. So you most likely start your quality journey with us in either TestRail, Xray, or DesignWise, where you can use AI to create better test cases, optimize test plans, and suggest which tests to run for better coverage. Next, as you automate your tests, you convert your manual tests into automation using AI into the most popular automation frameworks using our upcoming test script generator, as well as automating these tests into Ranorex. Next, after that, as you integrate automation into your CI/CD process, you can also secure your apps by integrating Q1 and Preemptive to automatically scan your code with new builds, triage security vulnerabilities, and auto obfuscate code for higher security. And last but not least, what is the role of the human tester in a world where AI just takes over? Our human jobs lean more into analyzing data to spot trends and identify tweaks that need to be made to either people, process, or tools. So this means that reporting becomes even more important to fuel that feedback loop. So we're investing heavily in AI to enhance the reporting experience for TestRail and Xray. Besides, the real platform value comes from having all of your data in one place. And we really see test management as the central platform to unify all these tools together so that you have actionable insights. So this is the unified platform vision that is fueling our Sembi IQ roadmap. And we are so thrilled to share that with you all here today. And that wraps things up. This was our last slide to showcase to you all. I hope you are excited by what you saw today, including the demo of upcoming features, that you are excited to sign up for a DesignWise trial, and stay tuned for these exciting AI product announcements coming in the very near future.
Thank you for that, Judy. Appreciate it. I think we might have a record for the most questions in a webinar that I've seen since my time of being here. But we're going to try to get through as many of them as possible. We have 72 in the chat. Some of them are very similar. The first one at the top is, I think we already just covered that. How is this tying into Ranorex? But I think more broadly, the other applications that aren't mentioned in these initial batch of capabilities, if you want to talk a little bit about what the expectations are for the customers who are joining that maybe are on Q1, Preemptive, Ranorex, Testmo, that might want to be wondering what's next for me.
Sorry, I missed the question.
If you want to just kind of talk broadly about, how those fit into the future plans, and you already showcased a little bit of how it's all going to connect, but any more detail you want to provide there?
Yeah, so we see AI embedded into all of our products, right? All of the features that normally take a really long amount of time, whether that's creating your test models to optimize test plans or create test cases to be able to start testing sooner. We want to speed up all of your processes and eventually get to the point where these products are so tightly integrated together that human intervention really focuses in on more of that analyzing of data, checking out your report so that you can use these insights to make tweaks into your process. So that is the more autonomous quality loop that we are all moving towards, but it all starts with agentic AI.
Excellent. Thank you. There's quite a few questions coming in the chat wondering about the pricing and licensing model of Sembi IQ. Is this going to be additive on top of the license? Do we have any detail that we can share on that?
Yeah, so we're really excited. We're still fine-tuning our pricing and packaging, but as of right now, the first few features that you saw will be embedded into our traditional licensing tiers.
Right. And so I think that it is going to depend on the use case. And, there are certainly things that, if we're bringing in technology to enable a particular function, that's additive to us. And so we'll have to take those things into account. It's not going to be, all inclusive all the time, but we're trying to update our models to be as competitive as possible with the market. So, but that's great news that it's all in the bag, so to speak, out the gate. That's really awesome. So there's quite a few questions that I'll go through and kind of scrub those out. When will Sembi IQ be integrated into TestRail and Xray? I think we can add that one in there just to preempt those questions. I think we gave a little bit of a sneak peek of it, but Helder, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so we are planning to start the beta and actually very, very soon. So please keep an eye out for that. But the launch is scheduled for calendar year Q3. Okay, so both Xray and TestRail, we are planning to launch those generative AI features Q3.
Yeah, so imminently, the reason that we're able to talk about it today is because it's on the very near horizon. As we get closer to some other releases, we'll be talking about those before they go, trying to build some interest and beta participation. So there was a question further down related to this, but how do you get signed up for the betas? What's the best way to start that, Helder?
So the best way actually is going to our Sembi IQ page, landing page, and you will have links there to TestRail and to Xray, and you can then just request to be part of the beta programs.
Excellent. And you can also talk to your appointed representative on TestRail. You could go through the support team. There's a lot of variety of ways that you can get to that. So
Yeah,
please,
one thing about our beta programs, if you want to have an awesome customer base to do a beta with, it's with a group of software testers, right? So our customer bases have been amazing to interact with, especially in giving us feedback to enhance our products even further. So thank you all for your feedback. We're looking forward to getting even more feedback as we expand onto TestRail and Xray.
excellent. Here's a bit of a technical one. How does Sembi IQ ensure that AI-generated test cases don't expose or leak sensitive or proprietary data? There's a few other questions in here wondering about the data privacy and security. How are we making sure that that's taken care of?
Yeah, very, very good question. And I already saw one question actually asking about if we are training the LLMs with our customer data. We are not. So we are not training our LLMs with any customer information, and everything also regarding the systems that we are using, we are putting privacy and data security first. So we are not sharing anything with our own systems. Everything is just pushed to the AI to compute everything and push back to directly to the customer. We are not interacting with customer data at any point.
And then, in addition to that, the data is we are building this with enterprise use cases in mind. So I know that there's been some conversations about how we're making sure that it is compartmentalized in a way that data is not getting exposed. You want to talk a little bit more about that at all, Helder?
Exactly. For this initial releases, actually, we are basing our systems on AWS. So we are using all the security in place from AWS to our own systems. All the data is compartmentalized per customer. So there's no sharing of data cross companies. Okay. So your data is always safe. You are always the owner of your data, and we never do share this with anyone.
Excellent. And some of the AI capabilities are going to be opt-in as well. It's not always on. So if your particular situation dictates that you're not able to leverage AI until your company's policies allow it, then you'll have the ability to opt out.
Exactly. So at the end, we want the customer to be in charge of the AI, even its usage. So by default, the option will be opt out. The customer will be opt out until you confirm within your company, within your rules, that it's okay for you to use our own AI. We can share all the details about compliance and security ahead of time, so that when you activate the feature, you are more than understanding all the topics and all the security measures that we put in place.
Excellent. We're chipping away at these questions, but it's growing. I'm not sure we're making much of an impact. So, Jesslyn, if you and Helder and Judy want to start combing through to make sure if there's any big ones that you want to jump out, I'm just going to start tackling the ones at the top of the list. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm happy, and I think we can go in rotation. So one of the questions is specifically about Xray and Jira Cloud. When can we expect a beta of AI features soon in Jira Cloud as well? So we are about to start our Xray beta very soon. Just sign up on the Sembi IQ website. And when we say Q3, we're talking about calendar year Q3. So sometime between now and September is when we have planned the AI launches for TestRail and Xray. There are plans to integrate Sembi IQ into Ranorex. I know our Ranorex customers have been very eager to implement AI into their test automation practices. Most likely, what we have planned for Ranorex is test script generation, and we've got a lot of customer feedback into how they would like to see this used. The features will be available for all of our subscription tiers as it stands right now. So for TestRail and Xray, that includes TestRail Professional as well as Xray Standard. Of course, things are subject to change before the launch, but that's where we are planning as it stands today.
there's some questions. There's a couple questions about like uploading designs. And I think specifically we were talking about these came up when we were talking about the test case generation, perhaps, but uploading designs is part of the requirements for the testing plans and test case generation. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can tackle this one. So on this initial iteration of the feature, we will not be allowing uploading files on the test case generation. The customers will be able to link existing test case tests, for example, or stories if they have already on Jira. I'm talking more specifically on Xray, but files for the time being, we are not adding. We are looking into this because we really want to add this feature and this capability, not only to increase the scope that is provided to the AI, but also to make sure that all the links that you already have within Jira tickets and your tests are being taken into consideration on the test case generation. Okay, so for this initial launch, it's not available. It's available on test optimization for DesignWise. There you can upload files, but for the test case generation on Xray and TestRail, this initial release does not have that feature yet.
Yet. I think
Yet,
everyone
exactly.
understands the importance of having that and the ease of use that would bring. So it's definitely an iterative process.
Exactly.
A lot of questions here about TestRail and how will this tie into TestRail. So Elder gave us a walkthrough of the test case generation feature. So be sure to look back at the slide on test case generation where you input your requirements and TestRail outputs suggested test cases that you can then choose to accept or edit even further. That's coming soon in Q3, calendar year Q3, as I mentioned.
Excellent. Yeah, we're actually at 100 questions now, so clearly there's a lot of interest. We're gonna have to go through these and try to pull out some of the themes, I think, and we may not be able to get to all of these. Let's see. Sembi IQ, is Sembi IQ low code, no code, or full of codes? How easy to learn it? I think this is an interesting question because Sembi IQ is kind of it is a foundational engine that drives across all the different tools. The way it actually presents itself to users some of it may be extremely, easy to use. Some of it may be more complex. The different use cases that we apply it to are going to it's going to be determined on how we're applying it, where we're applying it. Judy had that one great graph that showed all the different types of the output or how we're going to be applying these tools. So I think we're kind of balancing all those different use cases in terms of how easy or complex it is going to be to leverage.
Yeah, that's right. We don't use code in any of the features that we talked about, although our test case generation functionality will be able to output tests written in Gherkin to really speed up test automation for BDD. We've also got another question related to test case generation on product requirements. So rather than pasting product requirements by text, can we have an option to attach a JIRA link to analyze the requirements to then create the test cases? Yes, we have incorporated this, especially in our Xray test case generation functionality, where you can simply input the related JIRA ID. It will consume several fields from that JIRA requirement so that that is automatically incorporated into the test case generation functionality. So look out for that as we roll this out for Xray. And the test case generation in TestRail will also use the Gherkin syntax. That was another question. Seems like we have a lot of BDD testers here. We've got a question about LLMs. Which LLM are we using? Elder, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so we will use a pool of LLMs that it's specific for every case. But right now for the generation, we are using Amazon Nova family. So you guys, if you want to have more information about that, you can just Google it on Google. You can go into AWS and look into it. One thing I need to make sure that is very clear is all the logic that we are applying on top of that existing LLM. So the main gain of using Sembi IQ is that we are tailoring the output for the testing environment, right? So because you know that LLMs can hallucinate a bit and might not go into your goal, what we are adding is prompt engineering on top of the LLM to make sure that it's the actual output that you are trying to reach.
So there's a more detailed question. How complicated example of a scenario can you make with the AI? How complex can the scenario be that you're generating test plans or cases or models for based on the different functionality we looked at?
So we do have some limits right now into the prompt, right? But again, for example, let's take into consideration the test optimization on DesignWise. It's the prompt plus all the files that you can upload to the system. So you can build very complex test plans with Sembi IQ. It's all a matter of how deep you want to go into the details and how much information you are providing the AI to go into a lot of detail and more complex. At the end of the day, I don't see anyone will have any concern on how complex and how detailed our Sembi IQ can go.
Another kind of more detailed questions from Jeffrey. Thank you for all the great questions, Jeffrey. How do you manage signal noise ratio on suggested test cases? It seems like this is generating more noise than capability. Do you want to talk a little bit about that at all?
Interesting question. It's the definition of what is your goal. So the suggestion is a way to actually make sure that it's not generating noise, right? The suggestion is the first step to allowing the customer, the user, to say, I want to be more focused on performance testing, for example, or security testing. So this will steer the AI to exactly the case you want to have created by test case generation. So we find this as a way to actually reduce the noise that an LLM or the AI can generate.
Thank you very much. I think we already answered the will AI generation be available to all levels of TestRail with premium subscription be required. Just again, it is going to be included in the bag, so to speak, for Xray and TestRail in the initial features. Future features, we'll determine those as we get to them.
One of the questions here is, will Sembi IQ be a plugin along with TestRail or vice versa? So hopefully with the demo that Elder provided today, you can see that the UI for each user is inside of the Sembi brand itself. So like TestRail, inside of TestRail, as you go to create test cases, you will see a dialog which activates Sembi IQ functionality. Sembi IQ is really the backbone and the engine, the architecture that's providing this interaction with the LLMs and providing the output into your TestRail, Xray, DesignWise, and so on UI. Hopefully that's clear.
All right, we have 10 minutes left. We might have to do a rapid fire session. I'll try to go through and answer or close out all the questions that we've sort of already answered. Apologize if you didn't hear those, but the recording of this session is going to be available for everyone. Any ideas that you guys are sharing for future capabilities, that you're in a good spot to share those, because Helder is the guy that is responsible for intake of those. So thank you guys for all the great ideas that you're sharing in here. Let's go ahead and dive in to let's just go round robin and grab what other questions you want.
Yeah, I see multiple questions related to server or on-prem deployment. So right now, the features that we're showcasing are enabled on cloud. So DesignWise Cloud, TestRail Cloud, and Xray Cloud is where we will be implementing the features. Right now, we do not have plans for on-premise deployment model, although there is a lot of demand for us to do so. All right, next question, Christian.
How do you pass runtime parameters? I'm guessing this is within the DesignWise context.
So on the DesignWise context, the parameters after the generation is the same process as it was, right, previously. So the AI is just generating the parameters and suggesting the parameter values. From that moment onward, it's the same process as existed before. On TestRail and Xray, it's the same. So the AI is generating the test cases plus all the data sets or parameters that are needed. And the AI will actually add some values, suggested values to use with those test cases. But after the creation, then you can just run the process as before, and the parameters will be created on the test cases already. So if you then want to change some parameter, you just go into the test case, you change the parameter or the parameter value, and the process will work as before. I see one question that I think it's interesting. How do we position ourselves against other tools that might do test case generation? I briefly mentioned this before. We didn't want to just have another generated tool or a generation tool for test cases. We want to have an AI that understands exactly our customers, what are the outputs. And this is what we are investing a lot on. So that extra layer of prompting that we embedded on our Sembi IQ, so that the outputs are more focused on our customer needs. Generic tools a lot of times do hallucinate, and the outputs are not that great.
Can DesignWise grab existing parameters from existing applications from, say, selection boxes?
For example, yes, very interesting question. So imagine that you have like PDFs, like images from other solutions or other tools, or even text-based files. You can upload everything to DesignWise, and it will extract that data from those files and take that into consideration when the parameters are being generated. Yes.
Excellent, thank you. One more time, just for the folks who maybe didn't hear it the first time, how do I sign up for beta testing for Xray, TestRail? How do I get involved? Those are not yet. I think one thing I may want to clarify is the betas are not completely open yet, correct? We are planning on opening those before launch. So it's more of a stay tuned for more information sort of situation we're in. But go ahead and answer that again, Helder.
Sorry, can you repeat that question? I was going through the questions.
The betas, they're not open to everyone just yet. We're going to be announcing that. So signing up now is
Very
staying tuned for
soon.
more information, right?
Exactly. And again, very soon we will post on Xray landing page and TestRail landing page direct links to subscribe very shortly. But again, keep an eye out. It's within the current month. Okay, we are just making sure that everything is ready so that the customers can have a great experience even throughout the beta.
That's right.
I think we just answered like 15 questions from the chat with that one. So thank you.
So much interest on the beta programs. We just finished the closed beta for test where we're about to open the same for Xray. We obviously completed the beta, the closed beta for DesignWise before the GA launch a couple weeks ago. So we're going through a sort of progressive rollout with these closed and open betas.
Excellent. 5 minutes left. I think we probably have a couple more, and then we'll close out. Apologies if we didn't get to your questions. Like I said, this is the most questions I think we've ever gotten in a single webinar. This is also not going to be the last time you're going to hear from us. We'll be back with more information once we have it in the future, specifically as we rolling out capabilities for different platforms. So on the near horizon, I would expect to see some webinars around test case generation, et cetera. So plenty more opportunity.
I'll say that it seems like 75% of the questions remaining are, can your test case generation feature do X, Y, Z? And we've got a myriad of different ideas. Some of these ideas we've heard before, some of them are unique. But if we haven't answered them yet, this functionality is not yet part of test case generation, but this type of feedback is so crucially helpful for us to consider adding and enhancing in the future. So thank you very much for raising these questions. We've got plenty of work to do to enhance this functionality later down the road.
Okay, I'm still going through to see if there's anything that's really different than what we've already kind of discussed.
Let me try to answer a question. And we do have a question regarding the naming convention and where do we store these tests that are being generated by AI. So yes, we do have, when you are, the AI is generating the test cases, you can select the folders where you want the output to happen to make sure you keep your testing board clean. But also, for example, adding labels so that you can quickly find out which tests were created or generated by the AI and which were not. So yes, answering directly to the question, you do have ways to select the folder these tests are being created. And on top of that, we will label these AI generated tests so that you can quickly search for them and manage all these tests.
Excellent. All right, I think that is probably about as much time as we're going to have. We have 2 minutes left. I want to make sure everyone has time to get to their next calls and meetings and whatever work is being done today. So I appreciate all the great questions. Clearly, I think it's clear that there's a lot of interest in this, and thirst for much more information, much more detailed information. So we will be coming back for more of this in the near future. As was mentioned earlier, do check out the Sembi IQ website on sembi.com, sembi.com/IQ, the DesignWise site. And if you're interested in participating in those betas that we mentioned, go ahead and get signed up for the, I guess, the stay tuned list, as we mentioned. And looking forward to more sessions like this. This is great. Thank you, Judy and Helder and Jesslyn, who's been behind the scenes making all this smooth as possible for us.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.